We're real professional here, Drew.
Ooh, I feel so live right now.
Ooh.
Good morning. I think we're now
Hello.
live.
It feels live.
It says
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
It says live. We
Wait,
don't do
I
Saturday
looked
lives
it up.
around here very often, but they're fun. And it meant we
fun
got to do
already.
a live with Drew and a whole bunch of other friends.
Yay!
Yeah. Friends that normally aren't on my live show. Do you want to introduce yourselves? People know who Marina is, but like...
Go for it, Julia.
Okay. So I'm Julia. I like pens. Pens and I like to party. So yeah, I have a YouTube channel where I do pens, inks, journaling, and planning. And I'm having fun hanging out already.
I'm Shannon. I'm Couture Pens on Instagram. I do have a YouTube, but it's just started, so we'll see how that goes. I like pink and pens. Yeah, and I talk a lot sometimes, so we'll see how this goes.
Woohoo!
Drew, do you feel the need to
should I
introduce
introduce-
yourself?
I mean, I'm
yeah,
here
well,
because whatever, I'm always here. So
Yeah.
that's why Alexandra invited me. There's nothing new about me. So
Yeah, you just live on this channel, Marina. I just
Right.
like pull you across the country and like drop you in live streams.
there we go.
That's great. My name is Drew. I work for Farney's Pens in Washington, D.C., and Shannon has a larger YouTube presence than I do currently. So good job on that, Shannon.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't even know the password to that channel. We're still trying to figure that out.
Oh,
So
I think I followed that one. Yeah.
there's not a whole lot there. I'd
I've
like
get
for
there.
there to
We'll
be
get
more
there,
stuff
right?
there, but I need access to it. So we're
Drew,
still figuring that out.
I can potentially put you in touch with somebody at YouTube if you shoot me an email.
Okay, please.
I've got a YouTube person. Shoot me an email, and I
will. That
I
would be
can see if I
amazing
can
because
put you in touch with somebody.
we don't have the username, the password, or the email address it was registered to. Nothing. Even the previous owners were all at a loss. So either I think the only options left for us now is just to create a new one and tell people to ignore the old one. Which
You might want to just start from scratch at that point.
But like that's fine. I don't mind starting from scratch. But the other one still says Barney's official YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that's misleading. I don't want. So
yeah,
Barney's
well, thank you. Okay,
real YouTube.
shoot me an email.
I will.
Yeah.
That'll be fantastic.
final YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly. The for real one.
Super legit.
Yeah.
The actual Farney's real official channel.
Real official.
Oh my goodness.
At Real Farney's. Do that whole thing.
All right, tiny bit of housekeeping stuff. Members, I need you to go and vote on the poll about pen videos for February. Otherwise, you don't get to choose pen videos anymore.
Wow.
Let's just say that you vote, or I don't give you the option anymore.
Cutthroat.
So there were a lot of questions, Drew. People were really upset that I didn't ask certain questions in my 20 questions.
Well, I was also very efficient in my answering too. So sorry about that.
But also, we pushed the interview a week because while you were filming it, we were supposed to film it, you were in the interview process. And all you could tell me is that you had a job. You couldn't tell me where you had a job.
I couldn't tell anybody. I had an NDA.
I know. All you could tell me was you had a job.
Yeah.
So I was really happy because you had a job.
So was I.
And so were you. But everybody was like, you seem to have missed a whole bunch of questions here. And I'm going, no.
Nothing was missed.
No, there's 20 questions, guys.
She stuck to the format.
Yeah.
I stuck to the format.
They know what they're getting into. They know the title of the video. They've seen it before.
Except
Have
were-
they though?
there were 10,000 people that saw that video that had never seen a 20 questions before, Drew.
Oh.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
So they were upset you didn't ask, hi, how are you?
They were also upset that I didn't go in depth about your job because it was 6 days later that I suddenly discovered where you were working. And at that point I was like, there was no point in refilming it. I figured I'd just have you on again.
Always.
Here we go.
There we
We're
go.
having Drew on again.
I'm always ready.
Yeah.
I gotta get my money's worth out of all this stuff. You know, I got a new camera, got some lights. Let's put it
I
to
know.
use.
Fancy over there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm not. I'm gonna have to do
Well,
that. at some point.
this is 100% from donations. You know, I didn't pay a dime for any of this, so this is funded by the people. So this is my my charge now to, you know, make their contributions worth it.
All
Love
right.
it.
Overwhelmingly.
What are we talking about?
Overwhelmingly, the comments were people missed you.
Cool.
All the best with this new venture.
Cool.
Drew plus fountain pens is a good time.
Yay.
Congrats on the new position as president.
Tubular.
Yay, Drew. And then there were a whole bunch of questions that I could not answer. And so I've pulled them from the video. Marina, do you want to go over questions? Did I give you access to this doc?
Let's see. I don't know. Well, someone else starts. Because the only thing I can think of is making jokes about DC, funded by the people and going to DC. So, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about DC Comics. I'm like, all right, Marvel nerd. Okay. I'll
Oh,
fight you.
that too.
Because DC is better.
That
That
DC
so
is
that,
better.
that joke was also made in the comments a bunch of times.
About DC versus Marvel?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I like that one.
Will the shop have a larger internet presence on Instagram and YouTube?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a big reason why I was chosen for this role. So if I did not deliver on that, I feel like there would be some concerns from the folks that placed their trust in me for this position.
Were they like, make us cool?
Well, in a lot of ways, kind of, I guess. So the previous owners have owned the company since the 70s, and they felt like they kind of just reached a point where they felt it was best for the company to pass it along to another set of, you know, what's the right word? What do they call the guy who sits on the throne of Gondor? Boromir's dad, the grumpy one that ate the weird tomatoes. Not custodian. What am I thinking of?
Husband, help.
Hey,
The four girls here. I'm not really sure we know.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a term for it. Like,
The thing is,
Not-
I
not-
do know, I just can't find the word either.
yeah, like steward. That's it.
Yeah.
Steward.
Yep.
He was the steward of Gondor. All right. There were some people listening now that were just like, steward. The steward. So they wanted to pass it along to another steward because they bought it from Mr. Farney back in the 70s. So it's you know, these weren't the original owners. So it's been a process, and now they felt like, okay, where Mr. Farney reached a point where he needed to pass the torch, we are now at that point. So they selected Jeff, Adam, and Joe, who has previously purchased Retro 51 from its former owner, and they've done a fantastic job in being the new stewards of that brand and that company, and they've done an amazingly amazingly good job with that, growing that company there. And they're like, well, these guys, they know what they're doing. They're pen nerds, they're fans, they are plugged into the community. We think that they can do what we think is the right thing for this, you know, store and brand that we know and love and have dedicated decades of our lives to. And then those three dudes apparently thought that Drew was another missing piece. So they're like, hey, buddy, heard you got canned. How about this? So I said, yeah, okay.
Right on.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. So, but they I think that a portion of the goal with, you know, passing the torch was to most certainly bring it into the new century, or you know, at least something different. And yeah, I'm certainly a part of that. So I'll do what I'm expected to do for sure. So I did my first Instagram live in the store yesterday. That was super nervous. The connection's really bad in there. We don't even have Wi-Fi in that store, so that's something we're gonna need to fix, among a bunch of other things. A lot of technological enhancements need to happen now. But eventually, yeah, I'll probably do a live at least once a week, I'm thinking. And then once I get a studio set up, I'll start cranking out the actual YouTube videos.
People enjoyed the live yesterday. I didn't catch it live.
Well,
but
I mean, there was only like, 15 people popping in, so it wasn't a lot. And I didn't announce it because I wasn't sure what time I'd be at the store. So going forward, I'll give folks a heads up so they kind of can
All
hop
right.
in predictably.
And Wendy's here.
Yay!
And there's our 6.
Oh, hey, Wendi.
Hi. Do you like how I'm fashionably 11 minutes late?
Absolutely.
I love it.
I do what I feel.
I thought I was going to be too. I had to brave Costco this morning, and that was
Oh.
On a Saturday?
yeah.
Oh
Sounds
my.
like a good time.
And it was crazy cakes in there today. I don't know what was happening.
I mean, it's Costco on a Saturday.
Costco on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, normally if you go like first thing in the morning, though, it's not too bad. It can be obviously, but I don't know what it was today. I don't know. I was busy.
Yeah.
Mine's like the Hunger Games, right? At the opening time, it's like they're gonna blast that horn and everybody.
We need to go. We need, I think, toilet paper and coffee. I get my coffee from Costco. I love it.
My mom does too. Yeah.
Yeah.
She always her coffee.
Kirkland's French roast. I dig it. It's just the best.
I don't even know which one she gets.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I don't know. But yeah, no, they have some good stuff that I'm like you said, it's kind of like the things you get over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we
kind
do
of-
dishwasher pods, paper towls, chicken
Yeah.
breasts. Chicken breasts are great.
I know I sound like a princess,
frozen-
but that's the only
frozen
thing I'll get chicken
meatballs.
breast now.
All about some frozen meatballs. Giant ass bag of frozen meatballs. You always need it. They're always good to have.
Oh, and they had the pierogi stand today.
Oh,
Ooh.
wait, like inside the store?
Yeah, so they'll have it. It's only every few months probably, but they'll have like the pierogi people. I don't know.
Pierogi people.
Is that like a
Pierogi
species?
people.
They have
The technical term.
These
with
are
the samples and like all the fancy bag. They're so good. They're so
So-
good.
Costco will stock some of their flavors all the time, and then
Yeah.
like
and then
do trade show events where they'll suddenly have all the flavors for like 2 weeks.
the pierogi people.
Pierogi trade show.
It's great. But they do the same thing with a whole bunch of other brands. Is this not a thing in the States? It's
No,
great.
they definitely do, but it's like massage chairs and
Oh, they
Cashmere
don't-
sweaters.
No, for
Really?
here it's like
Yeah.
butter chicken sauce and
Yeah,
pierogies
pierogies.
and
Apparently one
tea.
the
It's great.
there's 2 in London. There's like the London like north and then the south, and we always go to the south. But apparently the north I may have to go to because they have Krispy Kreme right now. We don't have Krispy
Ooh.
Kreme here,
I love
we
Krispy
don't.
Kreme.
right? And I haven't had Krispy Kreme in years.
All right, so
like-
who's in Canada right now?
yeah.
Raise your hand. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Not me.
I'm in the desert and it's very rural. So I haven't seen a Costco or a Sam's Club loop in forever.
We
Oh,
don't
I
even
never go to
have
one
we
in
don't
the
even
States.
have Sam's Club here. Like
Yeah, no, we don't, do we? But we
No.
can go. Did you know, Alexandra, that we could go to the Costco in the States with our cards?
you can go to a Costco anywhere in the world with your Costco card.
Oh,
Look at that.
yeah. I need to go.
Better
to
than a
one.
passport.
better.
Yeah, Costco's great.
Where else in the world are they? Because I'm from
Oh,
Europe.
where?
I've never
Where
seen
aren't they?
them. Like where else? But America. But,
Really,
yeah, I don't know. Huh?
Oh,
Somebody
Galen,
Google
heard
this.
people have found Mont Blancs in the
Apparently
jewelry
people have
places
found
at
Mont
Costco.
Blancs in the Costco.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm going to have to
Nice.
look for that.
Oh,
Not that I
also waffle and pancake mix. Big old Costco bag. Always have that on hand. That's
Okay.
Yeah.
no matter what like if you're just missing breakfast, you don't have anything, you got your big bag of mix. You can always just add some water, make some pancakes.
But
Like
what brand
6
though,
months
Drew?
ago, probably.
Well,
I bought these little frozen pizzas,
Crusties.
Oh,
and I'm obsessed with them. Like it's
nice.
yeah, so good. And then
Mm.
of course I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to look for this pancake mix.
Costco frozen pot stickers.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
I feel like we've got those before.
Yeah, they
Sounds
come.
familiar.
They come in like a 3-kilogram bag. They last forever in the freezer.
Oh no, we haven't done that.
Okay, no, they come.
That's
in
a
in
lot.
ba-
I would have noticed that.
They come in an absolutely
No.
massive bag, but they're so good.
Nice. My Shannon likes pot stickers a whole lot and pierogies actually.
Yeah.
Would you like to know where in the world there are Costco?
Mhm.
Sure.
Let us
Have you
know.
actually looked this up?
Of course.
Yeah.
Have you met
You guys are
me?
here for
Like,
pens. We're sorry. We're going to talk about food in Costco.
Yeah. You
Uh,
came for pens. You're having a discussion about Costco.
yeah. Canada, Mexico, Japan, UK, South Korea, Australia, Taiwan, China, Spain, France, Iceland, New Zealand, and Sweden, and the United States and Puerto Rico.
Okay, I have a
Alright.
new goal. Japan,
Dang,
Costco.
though.
Apparently,
Costco
there's
is
one in
probably
Fairbanks, Alaska.
Oh my god, I need to go to Japan for Costco.
I
It's
feel
a
like
great place to buy
No,
local.
whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we should elect like a worldwide governing body. It's just like, an elected from each country's Costco and just put them in charge.
It'd be so
I
good.
think that's a symbol of greatness.
It'd be so good.
Yeah.
Okay, but will you guys get a hot dog at like 10 a.m.?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I did.
Yeah.
That was my snack. I'm not even gonna lie.
I will get Costco
Brilliant.
French fries at 10 a.m.
Pardon?
They have
I will
French
get
fries at your
French
Costco?
fries at 10 a.m. Do you not have French
We
fries
have
at your
poutine
Costco?
at our Costco.
Look at my face and Drew's face.
We have poutine at our Costco.
Your
It's
Co-
Canada.
No, we have a turkey sandwich and a chicken Caesar
and
salad.
like the cheese curds are it's good.
no,
Ooh,
like
cheese curds.
we have French fries and chicken fingers and
Yeah, pizza.
I'm offended.
The pizza at Costco is fantastic.
It is.
pizza at
Yeah.
Costco is great.
Mm.
Yeah.
I live amongst Costco fanatics. My two brothers, we have close friends. A lot of them just have like Costco hoodies that just say Costco or Kirkland's on them. They're junkies.
Yes.
They're
So-
junkies.
Here's the question: have you ever been to a Costco business center?
Mm-mm.
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's the Costco where you can buy things like slushy machines with a Costco card.
Oh, good. I need to check
Ooh.
that out because I've got my eye on a industrial waffle iron that I want.
So you can buy those at a Costco business center, and all you need is a Costco membership.
Can you get a
Fantastic.
slushy machine and a waffle maker for Farney's for when we visit?
Yeah.
The waffle maker is for me. No, I want one of
You're
those
gonna
that like hotels have. Where
Yeah, I
it's-
was gonna
it's
say
that-
they flip
it like beeps. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
and you flip it.
Mhm. I want one of those so bad. Belgian waffle, golden malted brand waffle iron. Because I already have 5. Apparently, I need another one.
Amazing.
I love
Jane.
waffles.
You can have birthday parties at Costco.
Mm,
Amazing.
sounds awesome. Has
I
anybody
told
here
you
ever used Costco to book a vacation?
No.
'Cause
No,
some
but I've
people-
heard it's good.
I know that's a thing. I haven't done it yet. I don't know if
Yeah.
I know anybody that's done it, but I feel like that's how you know if you are a true Costco
No, but
person.
I think we used them when we replaced the furnace.
Okay.
We use them for garage door. We use them for some of our kitchen remodel. We
Really?
use them for
Huh.
yeah. It was
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
So apparently you can do
you
everything
win.
at Costco.
You win.
So I told Drew this a couple weeks ago, but we each have 10-year-old children, and they are interesting creatures. And mine said to me the other day, "Mom, I have a very important question." I said, "Okay." She said, "If it were the apocalypse, would we go to Costco or to the school?" And I said,
Costco.
"Costco, I'm pretty sure." Okay, I was just wondering about it. And I said, "I honestly hadn't really considered the apocalypse until now." And she goes, "I think about it kind of a lot."
Here's the thing. I think that there's some truth there. I think that I don't know if anyone's ever read Stephen King's The Stand. It's ultimately about
yes.
the apocalypse and then light versus darkness, good versus evil, and pretty much everyone that is good is drawn to a particular woman who represents light and goodness in a particular part of the United States, and anybody that's inherently evil or bad or corrupt is drawn to a man who is in Vegas or something like that. I feel like that would be the post-apocalyptic Amazon and Costco. You're either like, if you are drawn to the light, you're going to go to Costco, and you're like, these are my people.
Yeah.
And
And, you know, also-
Amazon is the darkness.
It was in Boulder, Colorado. The good people were in Boulder.
That's right. That was it. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into the actual questions people have asked,
Mhm.
Oh, right. We have.
I
Sorry.
really like that Luke's child brings him chickens.
Oh yeah.
Again, I don't know why I've all of a sudden become a chicken snob in the last like few years because of Costco. Like I had their like even just their chicken breasts, their regular ones, and then the rotisserie chicken. I will not buy chicken anywhere else now. Like I will only buy it at Costco.
They have a strong.
Okay,
meat
chicken
department
snob.
at Costco.
Here's a question that I can't answer because I've never tried one. Anyone tried one?
Let's see. Number
Oh,
6,
no.
18.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. That's just a regular, like what's on most Mardi Gras. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as far as Italian QC goes, I would put Monte Grappa up there. Maybe not at the
Yeah.
tip top. I think Italian QC nib wise, has to go to Scribo, I'd say. But Montegrappa's up there.
I wrote with a Scribo in Philly, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Why did I do this to myself?
Yeah, they're solid. Those are good pens.
Yeah.
It's as close to it as an Omos as you can get.
Yeah, I haven't. Actually, I have tried a Montegrappa. I've tried Lexi's Barbie Montegrappa.
That's what I was going to say. I've tried Lexi's Barbie one, which
but that's the only one I've tried. Because they are so far out of my price range.
It's the Canadian dollar thing.
It is.
Yeah, I have the Elmo 1 in black and with a fine nib, and it's probably I was very shocked.
That's steel, I think.
That's what why I didn't really want to comment on the question because I was like, I think that's a steel nail, but
it is, but it's deceptive because Montegrappa, they rhodium plate their steel nibs, so they look gold. And I believe they're the only company that does that. I wish more companies did that because sometimes steel just looks a little dull. They can polish it well, but eventually it doesn't shine like gold, rhodium plated gold does. But if they decide to rhodium plate it, which I think classes up the steel nib a lot.
Yeah. It's super smooth too. Just great steel nib.
Okay.
There's so many. Like I've actually been surprised by a lot of them that I've tried. Like they're really nice.
Yeah, I can't find mine, but I was about to demonstrate. I have one of those too.
All right.
I have a Scribo down here.
Questions from the video. Who, what, where is Farney's?
Farney's is a almost 100-year-old retailer of stationery located in Washington, D.C. and on the internet.
Yes, I bought from them several times. I've had good and bad stories, so hopefully you'll make them only good.
I'm very eager to hear about any of the negatives because it helps me create a blueprint for awesomeness.
It's actually funny. I was telling Alexandra last night, the first pen I ever did on a pre-order was from Farney's. Now I didn't even know what Farney's was at the time. Like I was so new. Like this was May, and I think I started in like March. So, and it was the Esterbrook Sweet Dreams. Like I had pre-ordered it in May with Farney's because you guys had it on the website before I think most people did.
Yeah, I think that those took a while to arrive too. That was before I got there. But
but I hadn't even talked to anybody yet from Esterbrook. It was just one of those pens. I was like, I know I want this. We seen it at a friend found it on the Farney's website, so we both ordered it. And I just thought it was funny that my first pre-order pen ever was from Farney's. So
I love Esterbrook. They do some of the wildest, funniest, craziest stuff with their pens, and I can't wait to see more.
I cannot wait for this year. Like it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Is there a plan to make the website more user-friendly?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've got a list.
It's a little like Homer Simpson clip art right now.
It's dated. Yes, it is.
New websites like that though, and I don't know if I don't want to say names necessarily, but because I'm not 100% sure it's that one.
Yeah.
But there's one, and it's either, I guess I can say it's not. Is it Pen Boutique or Pen Chalet? One of them, I think it is also like hard to use. I find
Pen Chalet.
Is it that one? Okay, I knew it was one of them, and I just couldn't. And it's not, and it sucks because like they have great stuff. Like all the stores have great. And same with Farney's. I'm sure it's the same thing. But if you can't find it or you can't navigate it and you can't figure it out, then I just give up and go somewhere else.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about the site right now. And there's the amount of filters that you'll see when you're browsing sites at other industry leading retailers are so much more intuitive, so much, you can sort by filling method, you can sort by material, colors, everything. And yeah, Farney's is way, way, way behind on that. So yeah, I've got a long list. I've got a lot of work to do, but it's all doable. It's all fixable, which is great.
Yeah. And I think that too, like so many people are wanting to encourage it as well, because it's something that like, I wish, I mean, I have one, I guess about 2 hours from me, but that's still the closest brick and mortar store to me to even try fountain pens. Like I never did that before I started to like really buy them. And I just think that they're going to be so important for people going forward to actually get to go and try them. Like I see a peak in this, like kind of industry right now, and I just think that those and pen shows are going to be huge.
Yeah,
in the next
no,
couple
I agree
years.
with you.
Yeah, I really would love it if folks coming to the DC show felt like they were really excited to also visit Farney's while they were in the area. Like I want it to be like a destination, like
Yeah.
something that people get excited to visit. Because frankly, I've been going to the DC show for over 10 years and I've never once decided to go to Farney's. No one had told me that it was, oh, you definitely got to check out Farney's. I just never heard that. And I want to change that. I want people to say that. And I want to give them a reason to say that.
Do you think that doing some kind of, not, I mean, it's a store, so not like open house, but like an event kind of thing during DC because I think that would be so fun.
Maybe not during DC, but I would love to do something at DC that can help point people to the store.
Sure.
Like, give out some sort of promotional thing to be like, hey, if you go to the store, use this and get something, And I'd love to involve Farney's at the DC show as well. Maybe not necessarily as, another retailer because, they've got plenty of those, but in some supportive role, I think, just to say that, hey, this is our city. This is DC. We're here too. Glad you're here. But we just a celebration of the community and the folks that have decided to make the DC Pen Show kind of one of the most, if not the biggest show on in the country.
Yeah. So building off of Shannon's comment, I'm realizing that she's actually that direction. For the Toronto Pelican Hub, Wonder Pens and the Toronto Pen Shop both put a 5% off voucher in people's bags.
Oh.
But you have to go visit the shop within 2 weeks.
Exactly. That's brilliant. Something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have to go in person. It can't be used online. Like you have to go in person within 2 weeks to use it.
Yeah. That's a great idea. I love that. But again, you need to, before you do that, you actually need to make the store interesting and worth visiting. And while it's worth visiting now for purchasing, I'd like to add some, I don't know, something that is a little bit more unique. I think that every retailer, brick and mortar retailer in the country has like a really cool superpower and something interesting that makes them unique. And I want to establish that with Farney's and give it an identity that is recognizable and worth talking about.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea for that yet? Or
I have a couple ideas. But 2025 is going to be a big year. There are already some like pretty massive movements that are going to be happening. I can't yet talk about, but Farney's is going to look very different at the end of the year.
I feel like the whole pen community in 2025 is going to have that for some reason. And I'm still very new, but I still feel like that's the case. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like we've got the potential for 2025 to be a big year.
Luke.
Wow. Once he gets the YouTube,
how did he know? I haven't told
mind reader.
I haven't told anyone. God.
No, I just I think I've said this multiple times, but I've been part of the planner community for so long, and I see more and more of the planner community coming into the pen community and them merging. And I just think, and that's finally like for me, and I've shared this on before as well, is that like for a long time, it was never the case with, am I going to like fountain pens? That was never it. So when I dived in, I was like, I'm not even worried. I just bought what I liked and that was that. But it was the fact that for a long, long time, one, I was worried about my handwriting, and then two, I just think it was very masculine for a very long time. And then they finally started to come into the more like feminine products and the more like Luke, for example, with his pens, like they're stunning. Luke's was my first maker pen. And I'm sure he loved all of my messages, but he worked with me was fantastic to deal with. And I love my pen. And, but it's just those things coming together. And now I see that community coming into this community. And I just think it's going to blow up. Like, I just think it's going to be huge.
That's huge part of, the industry's success is not just to sell more pens. Obviously that's a big part of it, but you need to make sure that folks have an ongoing excitement, an ongoing engagement and interest to use what they have, not just keep on buying pens. And ink can do that. Stationery can do that. There are other things, washi tape, any little thing that can generate some interest, some excitement, a reason to pick up the pen again. That then keeps the whole thing rolling. And a lot of folks, depending on how the economy is doing, how the individual is doing, they're not going to be in a position to just keep on buying pens and pens and pens and pens.
Exactly.
But ink and paper, journaling, these things are either, much lower cost or free entirely. And you have to create that. And I think that to your point is what a lot of the stationery community is great at doing, is drumming up that excitement that's accessible and not contingent upon just simply consuming more and more pens.
And I like that too. I think both communities actually, and it's something that everybody loves to like share things. Like when I've gone to like planner events, people will hand out like little sticker sampler sheets that they've made, or like Julia had her stickers. And then or actually Wendi gave me stickers too when we were at Philly. So like those things are always super fun, and then you can use them in your journals, and you can kind of go off of those and use the different inks. And then people are handing out ink samples or swapping ink samples. So everybody gets to really try something new, but you're not necessarily buying more of it until you know this is what you want. But there's so many creative outlets with it. Like, I don't know. I just think it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The social aspect with everyone, not everyone, but the introverts feel like they can feel comfortable talking about this and sharing their passion for it. And I think that's a huge thing.
And that's why the pen shows are nice too, because it's like, you're like, I know I'm a nerd, but everybody in that room knows that we're a nerd and they're a nerd too. So it's all good.
Yes. And that's what it's amazing, because it's always a room full of introverts in a lot of cases. And yet everybody's cool because we're all part of the same, and I think that that's huge. And I will say that, it's not a really well-known fact because, the shows are a little kind of fly under the radar, but twice a year, Farney's does have kind of mini shows at their store where vendors come in and set up their own tables and, sell a bunch of stuff. We've got big plans for those biannual, whatever, twice a year shows. They're going to be worth talking about as well.
So Luke is taking this idea and running with it, because now he wants trading cards.
Various states of dress, like burlesque, Luke, because that's a tall order. My insecurity has some bounds there.
Parka, mittens,
illustrated.
Have a Drew like outline, and then have like the stickers that put the different outfits on them, and like the best one or something.
Anybody but me. I can't. I have a hard enough time like editing my face in videos. I'm just God, I want to punch that guy so bad. God, his
Be
face
nice to my friend.
His face is so punchable. No, I mean, y'all. If anybody has done any videos, you look at your face long enough while you're clicking through. You're like, oh God. You're just like, ugh.
My issue is listening to myself. The first video of the day I edit is fine, but by the time I'm editing like video number 3 in a day, I'm like, I'm tired of listening to myself.
I can't stand it. But you know what? It's good when I get nasty comments saying that, like, people, don't like this guy. So I'm like, I get it, man. I completely agree. I'm with you. I don't like him either. He's weird. He's really cringy. His voice sounds
nice
like
to my friend.
I know. Well, I always feel like my voice is like, look, I'm trying to sound like a big boy. Like I don't know. I feel like I sound like a kid trying to do a grown-up voice, and it's weird. But anyway.
My nephew said, why are you being so, why are you holding back on YouTube? And I was like, what do you mean? He said, it feels like you're talking really slowly. And then he put it on 2x, and he said, oh, that's what it's like to hang out with you, actually.
Interesting. Do you agree? Do you think there's some truth there?
100%.
Actually, when I messaged you on Instagram, it was there was a video that you were doing, and I want to say it might have been even your Philly haul, and you were like, but you would get distracted with something else and be like, oh, this, and I'm like, that is me.
That's Wendi.
Like this is me. Like I'm like, ooh, what's this? Like, squirrel.
Yeah, that's me.
And that's why I think I get worried about, and that's why I keep pushing YouTube off, because I'm like, I'm just worried that people are gonna like judge me or something in the comments. But it's like, if they had done that to me in real life, like face to face, it's a very different story. Like I don't know. I think
I would get to be my age, because I don't care.
No, I don't think you should care.
When I watch yours, and I'm like, okay, so it's not like we all do it. We all get excited, and it's just, it's I don't know. We all are worth credit, I guess.
Did you see the pen collection part 2 video? I was basically like squirrel the entire video. The
I
first
think
one,
that's
the first 20
authenticity.
pens took
People
me
people
20
like
minutes.
that.
The next 21 took me 40.
I love it. There is enough produced, inauthentic, just fakeness on YouTube and on the internet. You know, be yourself. Just kind of be your flawed squirrel brain self. Who cares? Like, people see that and they're like, all right, I get that. That's me, right? Just like you said. You saw Wendi doing her thing and you related to her because she's being her authentic self, just a little bit slower, apparently.
No, my Philly show, Galen just said my Philly show
was not
recap
slow.
was not slow.
Because that was the one that I was like, she's like me.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
But it's just, and that's just it. To me, I like the stuff where people are silly more, or it's not perfect. I don't care if your nails are perfect. I don't care if this, that, and the other thing. But it's weird because then I think that about mine. Like I don't know why. Well, like, but then I'll, you know, and sometimes I'll post really dumb things on Instagram stories, like the one, I don't know if you guys seen it, with Callie eating this, like I had snacks and she was trying to bury them on me, like that, or I put a pickle on my head one night because of
now that's content.
there was this video that my friend sent to me, and it was like, oh, when, you know, the first date you're on and she was having chicken nuggets and she ate like 2 chicken nuggets and she's like, oh, I think I'm full, do you want the rest? And, you know, like your first date, and then like you've been married for 10 years and then she's got ketchup and mustard all over her and she had a pickle on her head, and so then I went and got a burger and put the pickle on my head.
Nice.
But
well
be
done.
fun, be you. Like, it's, I don't know, that kind of stuff is the stuff that I feel like people are going to relate and they're going to want to talk to you more. The pickle, Galen liked it, but it was like, it's that kind of stuff. I don't know. I love that so much more. Or like Julia, when you're like trying to get around on your little scooter thing, and it's like, it's relatable, but yet she makes better videos than me. Like, I don't know. I love it. Like, or when we got snowed in at Alexandra's and we were like posting that kind of stuff. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's silly stuff that I think is more, it doesn't always have to be perfect, and I think that's kind of some of what we need to get away from too. Like, I love doing an aesthetic picture, like I love that, but I also think the messy side of it, like my writing, for example, I've still never posted my writing on Instagram, but I have to, because it's like, why can't I? Like, it doesn't matter. And I think showing the authentic side of all of this too it makes a huge difference.
I think was it you that said you were nervous about your handwriting before you got into pens? Like that is such a common thing. And I should absolutely do a video that at one point, because so many people stop themselves from getting into the hobby because they don't think their handwriting is good enough for some reason, which is a complete and just nonsensical myth. I know, but like, oh, I can't write with a fountain pen because my handwriting is not good enough. Like, what the hell does that matter? Like, what?
But for a long time, I don't know why, like calligraphy and fountain pens, for some reason, although they're
and a lot of people think that. A lot of people think that. So I would encourage you to get that out there.
Yeah, I think it's a huge misconception, and it's
massive.
Where did Wendi go? She ditched us.
She lost
like,
her.
I'm out. Peace. Shannon talks too much.
She's like, I met my match.
If she joins again, I'll add her back then.
We should have like a speed contest.
Oh, she's back.
Did I talk too much for you, Wendi?
Like, okay, Grandma. I don't know. I'm having problems.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think this community too has revitalized like my love for creating and stuff like that, and it's made a huge difference. And even like the Philly show, just getting to hang out with everyone, and everybody was so kind. Even Wendi, I was like, did I meet you in Orlando? She's like, no. But she's like, here's stickers, and I was like, I love you.
I know the way to people's hearts,
right? Yeah. Oh, it's chocolate. I bring the Canadian chocolate. I'm like, can you be my friend? Thanks.
I felt the same way about her. I just met her for the first time in Philly too, but I think she just pretends like she already knows you, and you're like, all right, cool, well done.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
that
I'm a
works.
universal person too. Everyone knows somebody exactly like me. So
I wouldn't say that.
Well, I mean, it happens a lot. Like, people ask me if they know me a lot.
I would say that you're a very unique individual, Wendi.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I know anybody quite like you.
I love that.
Maybe with Suzette in Orlando, because I met Suzette in Orlando, and I thought you may have been with, but that was, again, that was a crazy show too, because that was my first real pen show, was Orlando. Like, I went to Stationery Fest, and I've been to a million planner things, but not an actual pen show.
What got you from Canada all the way to the U.S. to go to your first pen show?
Okay, so
It
you
was
have
her
to-
birthday.
again, I've been to Orlando, or I've been in the planner community for years, and I've literally met my best friends from all over the world in that community.
Ah,
So a couple of my really good girlfriends live in Florida and in Orlando, and that was my birthday week. So I was like, I'm going to go to Orlando for my birthday. I can stay at Alexa's, and the pen show was going on. And then like 2 weeks before, Brian asked me to help at the Esterbrook booth. So even then, I didn't get to see as many people as I think. So I think that's what I thought, Wendi, is I maybe seen you quick, like with being at the booth or something. Anyways,
I heard
but
the Orlando show is pretty good. The location seems really cool. It's like in a mall or something.
yeah,
It's got
right
like
in the mall. Yeah,
stores and stuff.
they have some great restaurants in there, and
That
it's
sounds
literally
awesome.
yeah, like the if you kind of walk in the front doors of the hotel, and then you can walk right straight through, and then you go out the doors, and you're in the mall.
That's rad. I
Yeah.
mean, my favorite like thing that's tangential to a pen show is at the Atlanta show. There's a Waffle House in the parking lot of the hotel. You can't really beat that, but Orlando sounds like a close second.
Yeah, well, there's a Starbucks right there, but they have like all kinds of stuff in the mall.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'd like to get down there one day.
if I could, I would go to all of them. Like, it's so fun.
That one I think is just a little bit too close to DC and San Francisco, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, in terms of
yeah.
timing, I can never justify
Come to the
that.
Colorado show because it's in October and it's small and it's sweet and it's
it
right,
is very
Julia.
fun.
Come
If
to
you
it.
drew a line
Yeah.
from my house straight south, you'd probably hit Julia's house. I mean,
Another one I think
several
that
hundred miles, but
I wish would get like a bigger following is the Detroit one, because it was actually like the person who runs it. I can't remember his name right now, but he was Dave, maybe. I don't know, but he was very sweet. Like, Kirk goes to it. Like, it was nice because we could have our appointment with Kirk, and it was like a lot quieter show, stuff like that. So that was perfect. But like it has a lot of potential, and I just think that would be fun too. And I think the shows are going to get bigger. The one I can't wait for 2 this year in Chicago. I'm so excited about. Is anybody going to Chicago? I know
I'm planning on my flights this year being Chicago and San Francisco, but
That's-
admittedly, like right now, the whole flying thing, I'm not super excited
Oh,
about. So
I'm not the only one, huh?
yeah,
That's
so
fair.
I have a flight
Like-
next week, and I'm like, and
Listen,
usually
I have to go
fine
to
with it.
Italy, and I was like talking to my husband. I was like, I don't know if I want to go this year.
I mean, so we're going to Disney in September, and we can drive down there if we want to. But as far as Chicago and San Francisco, like I might just if I'm not feeling up for it, I'm not going to do it.
What's
Yeah.
the drive for you to Chicago?
I don't know, but it's
it's
not Disney. Like
That's fair.
I'm
'Cause
willing to drive to Disney. If,
for Shannon, for me, it's 9.5, and for Shannon, I think it's like
about 6.5,
Yeah.
7 maybe.
my limit for pen shows is 5. Nah. I
I
don't like
just
driving that
finally
much.
get-
driving
My
to
first
DC,
one.
but I don't know if I can do it.
I don't want to put that many miles in
Drew,
my
it's
car.
like a 20-hour round trip for us to drive to Chicago.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but how long is it for you to get to Toronto?
Second closest pen show, and I don't want to wait till Scriptus in October.
Well, wait till Script is in October. I don't know. That's crazy. It's
Scriptus
10
in
hours.
October is a single day.
Oh, my butt
Yeah.
hurts just thinking about driving that long.
God.
God.
Thank
I can
you.
I can feel the spot where my wallet like digs in and makes my right cheek numb. I'm like, no, I'm not. I
You
can
know, you
feel it
take
right
that
now.
out of
It's-
your
I
pocket,
know.
right?
I know. I always forget to. I do. It's stupid. Yeah.
Oh
And
my
the
goodness.
whole wallet too. It's nothing. It's tiny, but still, even that little thing, it can. It
What
does
are you, the princess and the pea? Like, come on, man.
Like, actually,
much.
yes.
I am. I'm very dainty.
Very tender.
I was thinking it. I'm going like, there's a road trip between me and going to a pen show or me not going to a pen show. I'm taking the road trip.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but you're talking about like 2 shows a year. You know, get Scriptus in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So I'm already gonna be doing like 5. So I'm like, I'm okay. I don't
That's
need.
fair.
I'm not gonna die of starvation. You know.
Yeah.
Because already, I did Philly. I'll do Baltimore in March, and then definitely DC. So, that's enough. And if I don't fly to Chicago, I'll probably drive down to Atlanta just to kind of, do that one instead.
Yeah. All right. will you be keeping the Farney's catalog? People really like it, but Gold
Yes.
Spot has done away with theirs this year as a big, proper magazine format.
Yeah, we will. I admit when I got there, I was like, really? Catalog? Seriously? They still do this? But the
Oh, I
more
love it.
the more I learn, the
Right.
more I see that there's actually tremendous value there. And
Mhm.
I think about, I get a seed catalog from Baker Creek Seeds, and I love that every year. It makes me so excited. I look through all the pictures and I order my seeds for my little, 6-foot raised bed. And I think that I think I love it because it's the only place that does it. So there's a novelty to the catalog, but then there's also just there's a history, a legacy to the catalog, and it just hits people different. And it's absolutely worth keeping. I don't know if we're gonna continue with 9 a year or however many they do, but the catalog's not going anywhere. That's for sure.
I had no idea it was 9 a year.
No,
Gold
me
Spot does
neither.
1 a year.
No,
yeah,
it's
like
definitely
even a couple a year or like 1 a quarter or something.
no. It's kind of a lot.
I actually like and even for like this community, and because it's coming into the like journaling and memory keeping and stuff, I think people could make their like wish list, like that kind of,
Yeah.
for the year. So I just think it's very cool.
It is, and it's just a different. I think that it kind of just hits you in a different way as far as what you have as far as marketing goes, and you're saturated with Instagram ads and Google ads and things like that. But you throw a catalog in there, you're like, oh, no one is in this space right now. And if Barney's is it's a small space, catalog advertising. But if you're the only one in that small space, that's still cool. You're not sharing it with anybody. Definitely worth it.
All right. Now we've got some questions from the YouTube chat before we get on to Instagram questions, because I feel like it.
Aw. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah. Have fun. There's a lot of pens out there.
The rabbit hole.
I was just actually typing a message to say, reach out to me on Instagram. I will help you with this particular
Fantastic.
Aw.
Thank you.
because there's a little bit to explain. And especially if you're trying to do a fountain pen revolution nib, I will help you. So
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wendi. I
Of course.
appreciate it. Anything else that needs to be tackled?
I think there was a favorite notebook.
Yeah.
I think there was a favorite notebook. There was.
I yesterday made a 9 different papers notebook. I was telling Alexandra this last night. It has all different kinds of fountain pen friendly paper, and I had it bound into the Staples people were kind of annoyed about the onion skin paper, but it worked out.
You took 9 different types of paper to Staples and made them bind them for you?
Yes, she did.
You've met me, right, Drew?
Wendy coded.
Okay.
I just wanted to have them all together, and so I had them all broken out so that I could, I had divider pages in there. Wait until you see what I'm going to make with it. It's going to be amazing.
I cannot wait.
I don't know if it's
Is it for ink like swatching or just for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for messing around.
I still can't figure out what I want to do and how I want to keep my ink swatches. Like I can't figure it out, and it's killing me because I haven't started. And now it's starting to be at the point where it shows. I'm like, did I buy that ink? Like I have no idea. And then oh my goodness, so Suzette was put like a picture of like an ink swatch on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that ink is beautiful. And she's like, yeah, it's from Japan or something. And I Googled it. She's like, if you can find it, like get me a bottle too, because she's like, I only have a swatch of it. And I was like, okay, so I Google it, and sure enough, it's a Kingdom Note exclusive that I bought in Philly. I was like, apparently I like what I like.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
The more unobtainium, the better. I'm sending one of my 9 papers notebooks to Aziza, and I said I called it a mixed fancy pants notebook.
Wait, you have
And she
more
said
than one?
Well, I made 2 because I made one for me and one for her.
Oh, okay.
Well, now you got to make
Yeah.
6 more.
I just need to
Yeah,
know
I
how
know.
I just need to know how much I'm pitying your local Staples right now.
Don't feel bad for them.
Okay.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Yes.
They're
So
fine.
remember how last night we discussed the fact that I was almost out of Endless Regalia paper because I
Yes.
refused to buy an actual notebook?
I
Because
love that paper.
Yes.
I know. The thing is, Drew, I like the size that's their show sample test pads, the small size.
Mhm.
I don't want it as a notebook. I want it in those sample pads. I have 6 sheets left. I have 6 sheets to last me until Chicago.
I wish they did. I would love a top spiral bound. Some of that paper.
I would love a top spiral bound. I would love if they sold. Pilot sells their test pads. Why can't I buy the Endless Regalia test pads?
Can you get like
don't know.
sheets of that paper? Sorry,
No.
I don't know. Pardon?
No, you can, as far as I can tell, you can only buy it in the notebooks, and I don't want another notebook. I just
But get the notebook and have Staples cut it for you.
Yeah, you can just have them cut the binding off.
I love that you think my Marina's gone.
Oh,
I love
really?
that you think my Staples would do that.
That's part of they do that.
That's how they do their thing.
Yeah. Okay.
They have to.
It's their job. No.
Shannon, you know where I live.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
You think my Staples does anything other than photocopying and dealing with FedEx?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Giving you the stink eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone?
They should do they should it's one of those. I think you can actually take. There's somewhere else I think you can take it too. Oh, and
Kinko's. Any print shop will do it for you. They have big machines for that.
Yeah.
I love that you think we have a print shop. That's so funny.
You're going to Chicago soon. You have things you could do.
Or have Wendi take one for you to get it cut when she goes to bug her Staples people, and then ship it to the P.O. box.
Exactly. You got it. That's exactly right.
And Marina's back.
Yay. Sorry, threw me out. I was like, what's going on?
I did the same to Wendi. Has anyone tried the alpaca notebooks paper?
No.
Now, this is my paper testing things. I have Earful View Corona, which is an interesting Japanese paper. Very nice. Rhodia, Cosmo, Air, Snow, and Nebula by Colorbird.
Cosmo, Air, Snow is the lighter one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I want to try. I haven't tried. So where do you get that one?
Nebula's
I got
good.
that at Jet Pens.
Oh, Jet Pens has it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that one's not being discontinued. It's the Cosmo Air Light.
I don't know if they're both getting discontinued or not. I am in a paper rabbit hole because of the Tamori River fiasco. So I have so much paper
I've heard.
Julia, if you come to Chicago, I will bring you. I've got 100 sheets of Tomori River from last spring that I bought.
Is there more Tomoe River drama, or are you talking about the same stuff that's been going on for years?
No,
this is new drama.
No, there's new
Julia
drama.
has a video on that.
Oh no.
Wait, what was the going on for years drama?
Oh, they switched the machine, and then they sold the company to Sanzen.
No, it just keeps getting worse.
Yes,
but now it's more expensive too.
I don't even want to know. I'm going to stay ignorant on that.
Yeah. So if you come to Chicago, I can get you 100 sheets that I'm not using. I think I've used a single sheet of my A4 before I discovered that I hated it.
Okay.
And it was purchased in May last year. So I assume it's before everything
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have actually, I don't know if I was telling Alexandra. Yeah, I brought it to your house. So I have a Hobonichi from 2021 or 2022. It was the old nice paper that I never ended up using, I think because of all COVID and we just didn't have the plans and I just didn't. So I want to use it as kind of use it now, but I'm also kind of afraid to use it now and really love that paper and then be screwed. And not as a planner, but just to kind of play in it, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Use it, man. Life's too short.
Oh, for sure. I actually have a lot of I have a lot of notebooks. So I will be okay. But it's always fun trying new paper, especially with the fountain pen ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's your favorite way to get ink out of nibs?
Bulb
do you mean nib creep? I think maybe you mean if you're writing and there's ink on your nib, this one probably has it. Let's see. Yeah, like this. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Just ink while you're
Yeah,
writing?
like wiping off your nib or actually cleaning and flushing your feed in your nib.
Right. Right.
Because if you're cleaning and flushing, then bulb syringe for sure.
Mhm.
But as far as wiping, you could even make your own nib wipes.
Indeed.
Right, Drew?
Oh,
I made
yeah.
one for Drew.
Wiping the nib.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to use that though, Wendy, to wipe the nibs off.
Because it's too fancy now.
I always just use a body part that gets covered by clothing.
Yeah, that also that. Or
Yes.
some people
Or
do
just
their
wear
tongue.
black and be like,
No,
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the nib creep thing is hard because sometimes when you wipe it, it makes more ink come out.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so
It gets
you may
more
just have to,
creepy.
it gets more creepy. Most things do when you continue to wipe them.
That's what I've found.
Yeah. But I think you may just have to come to terms with ink being on the nib sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that happens with fountain pens sometimes.
I think even the first few times, like I had ink on my finger, and it sometimes does it to me now too. I'm like, like why? And I'm like, yeah, it's just gonna happen. I think I just need to get like, you know, it's just one of those like, oh crap, here we go again. Like every time I get this all over me.
Sim
But-
wears gloves. He does
Pardon?
not like to have ink. Sim wears gloves. He doesn't like to have ink on his hands, and so he puts gloves on.
You can use those little finger condoms too. Those work.
Totally.
Yeah, they're good.
Interesting.
Because we're people
Editing.
edit. B, you're like me, you don't edit them, because that takes too much time.
Yeah.
Even my PR pictures for brands on Instagram, in some cases, it just happens.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah.
Happen.
And
It depends on the
ink.
pen. Yeah.
It
Like-
does, and it's because when they cut the actual tines,
Yeah.
if the wheel is ready to be replaced, it might just create a tiny, tiny little cut line in like a textured line. Because normally it's supposed to be smooth cut, but you know everything dulls after a while. One little line in the right place basically just creates a little pathway, a little tunnel from the slit up to the top of the nib, and it just pools there and collects. And that can also happen. Sometimes I've had nib creep just kind of show up on the shoulders of the nib too, and because of how it, contacts the inner cap and stuff. It can happen for a number of different ways, but a lot of it has to do with a certain pathway existing just in between your nib slit. And some inks like to travel up that pathway more than others.
And I mean too, like there's always different things like the ink matters and like I think even just I don't know.
It depends
how it
on
doesn't matter. It just
on how hot your hands are. If you have hot hands, it can, depends on your filling mechanism. It depends on a lot of things.
The pen that
making-
normally has ink everywhere on it has no ink on it today. As soon as I want a pen to show off,
Yeah.
for this.
Show mine.
Cool, we'll use this. This one, we'll just stick you there for now. This one has very little. It's just My Mont Blanc, on the other hand, has a whole bunch of little spots on it. Just happens.
Yeah.
Do I care? No.
You have to
Nah.
not care.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is weird to kind of get over that at first, like that you're going to have inky fingers. That it's not going to always. I think my thing that I get the most nervous about with the ink stuff is because obviously I like pink and pink things. Like I'm terrified of it being on like one of my pink covers or something like that, which I know it's going to happen, but I have to like prepare myself for that.
I have some. Would you like to see the ink stains on my natural?
Yeah, see that would I think would like it would hurt my soul slightly.
No, I just chalk it up to it's being used and loved by me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's just it.
definitely.
Yes. And that's where I have to I know that. Like I know those things. Or even like a pen, one I showed Alexandra, I have one pen that has a kind of a couple little like grooves in it, like scratches almost. And it does it doesn't actually like make a difference. So I'm like, and it's not that they're very hard to notice even. You just can notice them when you're like touching it. So it's those things that I know it doesn't matter. You just kind of have to.
Yeah, and if you buy a natural leather pen accessory, you're embracing that. You are asking for that used and loved look over
Yes.
the next couple of years, and that makes it beautiful. That's what we all want. After a couple of years of using a natural leather product, we wanted inky, we wanted nice and shiny, dinged up. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I dig it. I found a really good leather conditioner for it too that doesn't darken it materially, so that was good news.
I just use my forehead.
Well, red face, leather
Well, mine's
thing.
always red.
No, not red, bread.
Oh, I think. bread. I heard red face.
My-
I now know what bread
Yeah.
face is. Yeah. Did you have so much fun in Japan?
Yes, I was not feeling well for a good chunk of it, so I could have had more fun, I think. But the flight and the sleep was not great. So overall, I was not feeling well the entire time. But despite that, it was an excellent, unforgettable, magical journey.
And Julia, I'm still so jealous that she's going in October for the show.
Yeah. Gonna
Or is it
be
in November? October?
It's in November. I'll be there throughout both months. But yeah, I don't even know where to start, and I'm scared to even really start planning because it's so overwhelming.
The show is great. I love the fact that every single table has a pole with a little sign on it that says in both English and Japanese, who it is, what they sell, and where they're from. It's just such a well-organized event, and they have it grouped. It's not like a lot of the shows here in the US where they have, like, if it's too big, they have a main ballroom and then like a little tiny random room and then a little tinier, more random room. It's just one floor and then another floor on the same scale. So it's just, again, but it's not in a hotel. It's at like a convention center. So they do have more resources there.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder, like, maybe that should be what the US does. Do they need to be attached to hotels, or can they just be near a hotel? Because if you're at a convention center, there are going to be hotels nearby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Are they a
DC and
lot
San
more
Francisco
expensive,
could be
though?
in convention centers.
Right. No. I mean, as someone who lives in San Francisco vicinity, I'm like, this is a constant problem for us. And
The
I'm like,
parking lot.
that's-
Oh my God.
That's the only way you can solve it if you don't have it in a hotel. So
The
All
San
right.
Francisco parking situation is abysmal.
It is. What's the leather conditioner, Wendy?
I just put it in the chat. It's called Bic 4.
Okay.
I have some of that for my shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
supposed to be
What
good
I
for anything.
use.
It's got like a
But I
horse
use-
on it or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have some of that.
Everything I use on my pen cases is the same as what I use on leather boots and handbags.
Yep, this stuff is like that too. I think some of them can are a little more oily, and they can make your items look a different color. And I have found that this one doesn't, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, this one's more lotiony.
Yes, it's like a vino, but for leather.
Yeah. I use Oakwood leather conditioner, which is out of Australia, but it's just what I have because of cleaning boots.
Gotcha.
And all of my leather is not natural colored. I have their smoke. Which
yeah, I have the same one, I think, as you, right? No, I don't remember.
I don't
mine
know.
Is green. Mine is green because I remember you were getting that one. No, mine is different.
I need somebody to come out with pink.
There was a huge debate about colors when I was picking colors.
The
I was
gray is
indecisive.
beautiful. Yeah.
There were so many options. And now I've finally seen the purple in person, and I sort of regret not getting my slip and zip in purple. But it wasn't available at the time. And I do really like the Crazy Horse Navy, but now I'm going, I don't need a second slip and zip, but I do really like the purple one.
Why wouldn't you need another one? I'm confused by that statement. I don't understand.
Yeah. How many pens do you have? You definitely need another one.
But how many pens do I actually carry in my purse? That's the thing.
A lot, Alexandra. We talked about this last night.
We did talk about this last night.
Oh, goodness.
She asked me what my everyday carry is, and I held this up. No less than 6 pens at any given time.
What brand is that?
This is Anliba.
Okay, is that the one from Japan?
Yes,
Okay, that's the one I've been looking at, the black one.
they're
Activating it.
amazing.
Yeah,
If you want a commercial for them, I will do it.
it's like it has like a soft, thin suede inside, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And they have one now that has the 3 pens on each side.
that's the one I want.
Or you can cram stuff in like I do over here.
I like that a lot.
No, it's really nice. It looks really like soft and like I like
It is.
that one.
And it doesn't squeak. You know how some brands of leather are squeaky?
Mhm.
That makes my ADHD brain itch. I can't deal with it. And so these don't squeak.
I want to hear the squeak.
No, I got it. It took me a second to get there, but it's less of a squeak and more of like a I know the sound you're talking about. Yeah, but yeah, that's I can see how that would be off-putting. It's mainly a thing with like well-conditioned leather rather than kind of
worn.
Yeah.
But also something that's not broken in. Like shoes do that too.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. I highly recommend Enliva. In fact, I got an email from their owner person emails you after you make a purchase to say, I hope you like your item. Do you need anything? How can I help you? They're great.
That's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, I bought a couple mics recently, and Sweetwater does that. It's an audio company, and they'll call you after you purchase it, and then after you receive it, be like, "Hey, you still liking your thing?" I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, thank you. That's weird, but thank you." Not expecting it.
Now apparently weird.
Drew's been in an abusive relationship with his microphone people for a while, so he's not used to it when they're nice.
Not expecting that. That was kind of the way it was with my dentist. I was going to this like old school dentist for all my life, and he didn't even have a hygienist. He did all of his stuff by himself, wood paneling in the office, the whole wooden ducks vibe, you know. And then he retired, and I went to a normal dentist that actually said like, "Hey, you doing okay? I'm sorry, did I hurt you?" I'm like, "Huh? Are you not trying to hurt me? Because I thought that was normal." So yeah, that's funny. That was real.
That's terrifying.
Oh, it was, yeah. And I had no idea that I was with a crazy old abusive like
the dentist
little shop of horrors.
horrors.
Yes, that was him, 100%. Gigantic hands too. He was like.
I'm writing down the topics of conversation, and I just put dentist on there.
Mm-hmm.
Dentist.
Yeah.
Don't forget Costco.
Oh, I got it on there.
Was a big
I wrote
one.
Costco around the globe.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I need you to send that to me once we're done, so it can become the new cover photo for this live.
Well, that'd be fun. Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
From Instagram. What's people's favorite pen material? Celluloid, ebonite, acrylic, metal, other?
Other. What is other?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What is other?
Yeah, I like other. I prefer like meat pens.
I
You know, I actually
I
just
like
took
the
I took a
hot dog,
hot
like you
dog
said.
and shoved a cartridge in it, and just
I was just
honestly,
thinking about this
hold
with
on.
Costco hot dog.
If you took a hot dog and you just took if you put a converter on a Yovo housing and you just shoved it all the way up into the hot dog, well, you could write with a hot dog
Okay,
just
I'm gonna
fine.
make that happen.
And
Somebody
you
try
can
that.
eat it.
That sounds like a catheterization. I don't like that.
Julie,
mean-
And we're back at
you
Costco.
Try that.
Why haven't I done that?
I don't know. Okay, Drew. I think you maybe
Yeah.
you can do it then.
Yeah.
You're on deck for that.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be like, "What product is coming to Farney?"
That'll be my first Farney's video, and I will turn off so many of their existing customers.
And you just take a bite out of it.
Yeah. They're like, wow, Farney's is over
Oh wait,
now.
got to the ink.
How
This,
about
this guy's ruining
collaboration
everything.
with Costco on that one?
Farney's meets Costco sponsorship.
Yeah.
I like it. You know, and I mean, Oscar Mayer would do fine. Honestly, Sabrette. I'm a big fan of Sabrette dogs. That's good.
I don't think we have that, do we?
I don't think so.
Sabrette. DC has some Sabrette carts. It's basically if you see a New York hot dog stand, it's like a blue and yellow umbrella. That's Sabrette. They got that locked down.
Oh, I think I can picture the
Yeah.
package now.
But they make them at you can get them at grocery stores as well.
Okay. Do you guys have Schneider's?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe.
No, that's the only one.
I'm trying to cut down on hot dogs, but they're so good.
You know
But
what?
they're so terrible.
But even like once in a while, I'll still like really want like a bologna sandwich.
I have not had a bologna sandwich in a long time, but I'm getting close to craving one. Just just bologna cheese sandwich.
But
every
honestly,
day.
I will not eat any bologna besides Schneider's. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I've never heard of
a
Schneider's.
bologna elitist, I see.
I like Boar's
know what
Head
that says
has
about
good
me.
bologna.
Well, hold on. Didn't you call yourself a something snob earlier?
Yeah, chicken
All right,
snob.
so you're a rotisserie chicken snob and a bologna snob.
Yeah.
I see. All right, Shannon.
She likes her
Yeah.
meat.
All
We're
right.
getting-
Well,
Oh, I'm not
We're-
sure that I have any friends left.
We're
after
getting you
the
dialed
boy.
in today.
Yeah.
I really like that. I think other was more in reference to like wooden pens and more unique
Oh,
things,
sorry
and
about
then
that.
you got on such a weird
I
tangent.
just went right to hot dog.
You went right to hot dog. Well, I'm thinking you're debating hot dogs, and I'm going. I think a pepperette would have more structural integrity.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would fit the cartridge. They're like thinner.
I think we need to be able to like, well, I don't want to say catheterize because I don't know if that in, but it needs it needs to be, you need to just shove it up in there and it needs to stay put. So yeah, there's a number of I think vegetables that could probably handle it. Like I think a potato would need to be bored out a little bit before insertion, but I think you could get there. I mean, how enjoyable would it be to hold on to a potato and just,
Right.
sign some documents?
Well, yeah, like you could use a mini cucumber or like.
Oh my God, yes.
And that's our show,
Like,
ladies and
are we-
gentlemen.
I am
pens
so
anymore.
excited about this.
Broccoli might work
thrilling.
too, like broccoli, like the ones with the longer.
Yeah,
stem
with
and
a
with
broccolini.
decoration on top.
Yeah.
Slim Jim.
No, that's too. No, it's too
No,
slim. Too slim. You need to go with like a one of those
You need a chubby Jim.
like a Tijuana Mama or something like that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
You know,
All right.
or like
something with some girth.
You know those ones- you remember those push pops as a kid?
Yeah,
Push pop pen.
yeah.
There you go.
All right, I'm digging it.
All right. Okay.
Alexander's like back on topic, guys.
Well,
Definitely answered the question.
Julia's dying as well. Okay. Celluloid. Celluloid ebonite.
Everyone comes in with the real answers.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lammy might have made a fountain pen hot dog.
The CC, the Lamy Dialogue CC.
That is probably the most
Yep.
hot dog like pen thus
Yeah.
far.
Wow. Honestly, yeah. Did you expect anything different with the six of us? Honestly, if you did, I'm sorry. I apologize. For, like, meh.
Okay.
I know.
Hot dog pen, and I've got bologna. I'm gonna stop short of the
Push pop?
girthy Slim Jim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The push pop was good though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a real question for us, Alexandra?
I like resins.
I like resins because of the variety.
Yes.
I'll give a real answer.
Okay,
So
was
I
gonna
like
say, anyone
being
have a
able to
real
see-
answer to this question?
Yeah.
No, resins is
Actually-
probably this. Yeah, the same. The only thing with some resins, I will say though, like I think for the most part now, resin pens I will probably buy in person unless I've seen enough of the pictures, like from everybody, not just like the
Yeah.
promotion pictures,
Yeah.
to pick them. Like the one that I just ordered, the Leonardo, the Karina one, Karina did,
Sunrise.
and I loved that one. Every picture I've seen, but I knew that was like, if I don't get this, I'm probably not going to.
Right.
But every picture I've seen so far, knock on wood, is beautiful. Like every pen is beautiful, and it's not normally that every pen is beautiful, but if you like a pen that has, like, Alexandra and I were looking at one the other day where we seen it and it looked very pink and orange, and all of a sudden we're like, there's lime green in this, like, because the pictures that we had seen didn't have any of that, and that can just be a disappointing thing, and not to the resin necessarily, but like your preferences.
It's your expectation.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's everybody's different. Like if there's a pen that has more pink, well, I might like it better. Whereas Alexandra might like the version that has more of the purple in it. And I just feel like doing those in person is a huge benefit.
I just had a custom blank poured for, so I had this accident and I broke my leg and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm having a pen made to commemorate 1 year since that happened. And so Tim at Turnt Penco, my phone just locked up, but I'll show you. Can you see it? Let's see. There we
Oh,
go.
a little bit, yeah. Is it like blue, purple?
It's blue, purple, green.
Oh, there we go. Right there. That angle's good.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I like
beautiful.
That. Indigo.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that if you say celluloid is your favorite, it's just kind of like the bougie acrylic. But I will say that there are a lot of celluloid designs that acrylic just simply cannot do. So in an immersion of acrylics, there is something really, really cool about finding a celluloid pen and a really cool, even like flecked celluloid, which they can do flecked resin. There's something about the celluloid that allows it a different sort of depth and three-dimensionality to it that I really, really like. And yeah, so that does have appeal to me. I won't say that like, oh, well, celluloid is my favorite material, but there is something unique about it. And it might be the fact that I know it's rare. So it's kind of like messing with my head, like makes me think it's cooler than it actually is. That might be the case.
Okay.
But
can somebody really explain celluloid to me like I'm 5? Like what's the big...
It's basically what came before plastic. So if you go back and you look at before plastic was invented, if you see, it's what film used to be made out of, because it's basically the granddaddy of plastic. If you look at one of those old, late 1800s things where you've got like the guy at the blackjack table with that green kind of visor over his, thing, that was before plastic was invented. So that was made of celluloid. Anything that looks like it was plastic,
right?
That was all celluloid stuff, but it was nitrocelluloid, and that was actually quite flammable.
And it takes extreme amount of time to make it. So
and it's very expensive. Really expensive. Monte Grappa, I believe, is the only one that still has a stockpile of celluloid, and their factory has burnt down twice because of celluloid fires.
Yeah, now they have it in an outbuilding that's fireproof.
Yeah.
Hey, Drew, have you ever seen the Arco that Pineider's doing, that they're trying to mimic the old Arco celluloid? Of course. Yeah. That looks pretty cool. I think it does look pretty cool.
And I'll say that Hiran from Magna Carta is doing a stacked resin that mimics a little bit of the stacked celluloid. Of course, it's not the same, but there have definitely been some attempts that have been, moderately successful. I've got a couple celluloid pilots and Namikis that I really, really love. They're some of my favorites. And again,
the first one in the platinum 3776.
Oh yeah, the calico.
Those are good. But my all-time favorite celluloid has got to be the Tibaldi Impero celluloid. It's this gorgeous blue that is, again, I'm 100% being manipulated here because I know it's one of the most sought after and rare celluloids. So it's probably not nearly as good as I've made it out to be in my mind, but I am still nevertheless kind of in love with it and really would like a pen made in that material someday.
Okay, this is kind of sorry. Hopefully I'm not taking this completely on another tangent.
Hot dogs.
Corn bologna. At least this is a pen tangent, because you said making a pen. Are you going to, do you think, do some Farnese exclusives?
Absolutely. Yeah. They don't really dive full into the whole exclusive thing. They do retros, a couple times a year. But Farnese has been one of Retro 51's biggest retailers for years, even before it got bought out. So they've got a long, long, long history with Retro 51. But no, I would definitely like to do more exclusives with other companies for sure.
All right.
With that, how do you guys all feel about limited editions? I'm kind of curious.
I mean, if it's number whatever out of 1,000, it's not really limited, is it?
Yeah, I agree. That's my sentiment as well. I think that when it's truly limited and it's exclusive to a retailer, I think that's fun. It adds excitement. It allows the individual retailers to have more buy-in, and it allows more community members to have a say, because every retailer is going to have a different subset of the community that they're soliciting this information from and then applying to what they think will sell in their stores. So it's like every little subsection of their community their opinion gets funneled into the retailer, which then gets funneled into this exclusive and sold through them. So I love the idea of retailer exclusives.
I actually like that.
What I don't like is when they use the LE nomenclature to just sell as much as they can. And it's not actually that limited. I think that that kind of dilutes the whole excitement of the LE, and it leaves customers kind of like, all right, is this LE or is it not? And it makes them have to try to figure it out, and they shouldn't have to do that. Like they say special edition if that's the case.
And like I know of a pen that the blank was limited. They only poured 50 blanks of it. That pen still isn't labeled limited edition. That pen is not numbered. They only poured 50 blanks though. So
who is it?
Oh, I don't know if it's supposed to be out there what pen it is. So I'll text it to you, but I'm not saying it on air.
No. The thing is that how big is the company?
Not small.
Okay. So
not
that's
small.
Different.
See, I think my thing is with like, I think what Drew's saying with a shop exclusive, that's different, because I think that if they are taking from what their customers have been asking for and creating something special like that, I think that's fun and different. But also I think there's probably also a fine line between ordering enough and ordering too many at a certain point. But I hate the fact that sometimes it's a game of there's only like you said 50 or 100, and it's almost like creating this frenzy, and then nobody can get it. It's also disappointing. So it's hard, and especially with fountain pens, I think when they are a more expensive item, I think it would be nice to have it available to more people for a longer period of time, so that they can have that as a grail pen maybe, or something that they work towards if they're, there's a goal, something like that they end up buying that for. I just think sometimes it's hard when there's something that we love so much, but then it's not necessarily attainable for a long period of time. But that is
subjective too.
Yeah.
It's like you could do a limited edition of 2000. And like, yes, if you're only making 2000 and you're done forever, technically, yes, that means it is limited. It has a limit. It has a finite amount that you can purchase. But also, if it's $1,000 pen and you've got 2,000 of them, like that's not. There's no like rarity there. You're gonna those aren't gonna sell in a couple months. So it depends. And yes, ultimately the customer does need to be a little discerning when it comes to that, because no matter where you go, retailers are gonna have different definitions of limited. Distributors, manufacturers, they all think different ways, and we're all ultimately kind of at their mercy of their decided, terminology.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Marina, do you have an answer for your favorite pen material?
Well, that's the thing. I like ebonite, but besides that, going back to materials, I have something to bring by the group. It's something that made me think. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I was listening to this interview and it was this Yardolet guy who now owns Yardolet. And so his whole thing is, so when he discusses his company, which has been around for a very long time, that he bought, his whole thing is that they're not even on par because everyone else's stuff is out of plastic and mine is going to last forever because it's silver. So I wonder how do we feel about, I don't know, like, how do you feel about the notion of like your pen's not lasting forever? Like, does it come into your mind when you buy something? Like,
no,
like
not a me problem.
All of these things are gonna.
Exactly. I'm
as
not
long as
going
they
to
last. Sorry, we've all got opinions.
Yeah.
We're all like,
that's how I felt.
Yeah. Sterling silver is gonna outlast a Safari, but the Safari is still gonna outlast any of us.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right. That's Lego.
Yeah, like a Safari is still going to be around, and as upsetting as it is to hear, in 500 years.
It'll be like Wall-E at the end of, in Wall-E, it's the robot and a blondie Safari.
It's not like any of these things are biodegradable. I will actually know what Conklin recently did do that, or Delta did
somebody did it.
Really?
But
well, I don't know if it's biodegradable. They did something called a Bio Plus 16, which is apparently a pen made out of some sort of natural materials. It kind of came out during my dead zone while I was a little unplugged from the industry, so I don't know a ton about it, but I know Farney's is selling them.
Yeah, like I'm not going to live forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like as long as my pens last as long as I do, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I wrote that one down as the half-life of pens.
Sad face.
Last longer than us. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't think about that when I buy any possession. Like if it's going to outlast me, like who cares? Like I'm not, unless I'm intentionally buying something to give my son and him his grandson, like, which I have not ever considered. As long as it lasts as long as my interest lasts, I don't care.
All right. I don't know that I answered the pen question. I like resin pens, but if I'm buying them online, I only buy them from a store where somebody at that store will pick out the blank I want or the pen I want or take what I ask into consideration. So Atlas did that with the cotton candy. You could ask for a specific colorway. When you order a limited edition from Gold Spot, you can request a more predominant color in the blank. But other than that, I don't order resin pens online.
I think with some of Gold Spot's as well, they have photos of them all.
Yeah, they've started trialing that. They've only done it on a couple limited edition releases, but that is really nice.
That's awesome.
Be able to see I think they only do it on limited editions so far that are less than 100 pens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it is really neat to be able to see every pen and pick the pen you want.
Yeah.
Without, being able to see it in person.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which ones I've bought without seeing in person. The first one,
your Bella de Noche that you bought.
No, but I seen pictures. Like she still showed me a picture of it. I don't know, but I haven't seen like a video of it. But again, that one I wasn't too. That was one of those ones I think every blank I've seen I liked, so I wasn't super concerned. The same with I bought the Dragonheart Leonardo, but again, every single one of them I had seen was beautiful, so I wasn't again concerned.
Sure.
I don't know. But there have been some that I've seen that I was just like which one? The one that you and I had were completely different colors. Like I was like, this is not.
Somebody brought up the Sweet Dreams Esty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Sweet Dreams is one that I think was very. They had a very like it was a huge range, and I actually have two Sweet Dreams because I had ordered one from Farney's. It was the gold, and then Esterbrook had the silver as like their exclusive, and I couldn't decide, and at that time I didn't have too many pens, and somehow I ended up buying both. But anyway, it was nice because I ended up switching one, but I ended up one with the more like mixed resin, and it was kind of lighter, and then I had one that was more like the bold, so it's almost like it could be two different pens with like the gold versus the silver versus this versus that. But I do see that with that one, there was definitely a bigger range, I think. But it's funny because I had seen comments with people saying, "Oh, I would have preferred this more mixed one," whereas somebody else would have preferred the more bold one. So it's not that they were like, I don't think it was a bad. It was just that, again, it's your own expectations for certain things, I think, or your preferences maybe.
Yeah, because we had 3 at Scriptus, and every single one was different.
Oh yeah, the same with what was it? I lost it.
Orlando or Stationery Fest?
There was another one. I can't remember, but it was very different.
Orlando.
All right. Somebody's favorite is that.
Casein.
Thank you. My brain injury kicked in, and I was not even going to try and figure.
I've actually never seen it spelled, but I know I've heard of the material casein, and I've heard it said, but
It smells bad.
It's out of milk, I think, right?
I thought it was like petroleum.
Yeah, it's some kind of.
It's byproduct of milk, I think.
Ew.
You gotta Google it.
No.
Yeah, I'm
no.
Googling.
Not a milk byproduct.
Milk pen?
No.
Let's see.
You're not a milk pen, but you really want to make a hot dog pen.
Actually, no. What? We didn't talk about cheese. Like
apparently,
a block, like a.
If we dehydrated it first and stabilized it with epoxy.
that makes it less fun. It needs to be
It
floppy.
does make it less fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I read it as being less fun as well.
I want it to flop around while I'm writing.
I bet Luke would do that. I bet Luke would make you a hot dog pen.
Luke's gonna hate us.
Luke's gonna come back and
No,
watch
that's
this and be
true
like,
as
"What did
well.
I just sign up for?"
I'm wondering what I have in my fridge right now. Like I came close to like walking away from the chair and going in and finding something. I'm thinking like I don't have any potatoes right now. Like I might have some broccoli. Yeah.
I mean, things you can make out of eggs.
Did you say eggs?
Eggs.
Oh.
Eggs for what?
A hard boiled
What
egg
about
with a
that
mini.
Oh, a hard
converter?
boiled egg. Yeah. We can do that.
That'd be
Do
really
that.
slippery, though.
It would be.
It would, but that's part of the fun.
It's the slip and slide of
Yeah.
pens.
Julia's like, "Why did I do this?"
You know, I'm gonna keep going back to this topic, y'all. I'm sorry.
Julia's
Try
like,
to
why
stop
at
me.
midnight last night did I say yes to this? I'm
Yeah.
questioning my life decision.
I will have to step away for pretty soon. I need to take the kid to meet Shannon for lunch. But
Are you getting a hot dog?
I don't know. We haven't decided, but right now that is what's on my mind.
We're all gonna go eat hot dogs.
Yeah.
I have
Go ahead,
one
one-
shop question.
Yeah, my kid
One shop
loves
question
hot
for
dogs.
Drew.
Yeah, go for it.
Question: are you guys thinking of doing something like Fountain Pen Hospital does with like consignment pens?
Oh God, no! That sounds like a nightmare.
I don't know. Might be good.
I tell you, it would. It might be good. I think True Fae does that as well. To me, it sounds horrible and not something I would like to manage or maintain at all. But I see the value in it. I will say that if we can figure out a way to do it up to my standards, so that the photos are accurate as to how it's going to be sold, then yes, absolutely, nothing's off the table. But right now, there are so many more foundational elements that need to be looked at and examined and fixed and enhanced. That's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe
Down the road.
if ever,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that's
Well, and there are other retailers that do it really well, like Peyton Street Pens does it, Penrome does
I love
it.
them. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Another question for Drew, or a suggestion. Please add more diamine inks.
we're definitely adding more diamine inks. I've got a list of 50 right now. I don't think we're gonna launch the whole line, but I made my list of 50 and I sent it to the distributor to get his opinion on it. But yeah, diamine is going to happen fast. Mayora ink. I'm surprised you're asking for Mayora ink. Of all the different inks out there, that is not one I would consider to be prolific in any way. Nothing against Mayora ink. I'm sure it's fine, but I don't think I've even held a bottle of Mayora ink ever.
That is
I
made
don't
by
think I've
somebody
ever
else.
heard of it.
Yeah, like Diamine, the most prevalent, biggest ink brand in the world, probably, and then Mayora, like a small pen
Doesn't
brand
it
with an
come
even.
with a pen? Like I've never seen it stand alone.
Mayora is like an offshoot of an offshoot. Like, so
Of
you've
Delta?
got kind of, yeah. So you've got Nino Marino, who owns, or like he's the general manager of Delta, but he also has the brands Natuno and Mayora. And so Mayora is just kind of like Mayora was kind of his project between like his solo adventure and him coming back to the helm of Delta. So, yeah, interesting. I've never heard anyone actually, not, again, I have nothing against Mayora Inc. I've just never heard anybody be like, oh, you know what's great? Diamine and Mayora.
Right.
That's an interesting.
It's always a first.
Yeah, I don't even know if Farnese carries Mayora, to be honest. I think since Nino got Delta back, he's been scaling back on Natuno and Mayora stuff. So I don't know if that's going to be an ongoing focus for him, but I'm sure he'll keep it going. But I will consider Mayora Inc. Sure, Kevin. Yeah.
Ooh.
But I just looked up.
Now
I like their bottles. I like.
Are they? I'm sure they're fine.
They're like a fun diamond shape.
Cool.
And unlike Diamine, their caps are textured, and so that's an automatic win in my book.
Well, you use your teeth for those.
Ooh.
That just sounds like sounds dangerous.
That hurts.
Nah, it's good. Feels great.
Looks like they don't have too many colors, just a few.
Yeah.
So what do you think your number one or number two kind of goals are for the imminent future with Farney's?
Well, there's a lot of like office stuff that needs to happen. Like we're getting everybody new computers. We're, enhancing the back end of the website. It was quite behind on the amount of updates. So we're working with their web team to enhance that, get a lot of stuff operationally smoothed out, because they've got their warehouse and office in a separate location than the store. So we're ironing out a lot of the structural details of just kind of their processes and stuff. And a lot of things are, a lot of responsibilities are being shifted around since the purchase. So we're getting all that in line. As far as stuff that could be customer facing, we're definitely going to give the website a facelift and, work on some sorting and, categorization optimization so that it's just an easier place to shop. And then, try to just make it look a little less dated as well. And then there are going to be some store improvements as well. I'm working on the aesthetics of the store, kind of ideating some possibilities there. People will see a significant improvement there within the next couple months. We got some big plans as far as that goes that will be revealed shortly. And then new brands. So I'd love to focus, and the sale just went through like a week ago. So it's still really fresh. So fresh off of purchasing an entire company, we're not just like, yay, we have all this extra cash, let's go buy some other stuff. So we got to give it a minute, at least get a month's worth of revenue rolling. And then we will look at, my opinion, Diamine and Twisby first. And then I'm also looking at Benu. And like we talked about earlier, I really like the endless, with the notebook.
Regalia.
The Regalia, yeah. Want to look at Endless, of course. Scribo, Magna Carta are possibilities later down the line as well. And then there's let's see, Colorverse they don't do, Ferris Wheel Press they don't do. So we're working on a lot of possibilities. Ken Rowe, who does Esterbrook, they recently got the distributorship of Ferris Wheel Press here in the U.S. So that's a very real possibility.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Apparently, Endless also makes a Regalia desk pad of paper.
Ooh, I'm into that.
So I might have to investigate getting one of those.
I'm very much into that. I like that. Oh, also, Maruman, Nemesine. I love that paper brand, and I will be bringing that in as well.
Oh,
Wow. Nice.
It sounds like there's going to be a whole lot of changes to Farney's in the future.
Yes.
Exciting.
No, that is exciting. I like having and those relationships that people build with those stores and the little events that they can go to and stuff like that. It's definitely an awesome little escape.
We're definitely going to drive up community engagement. I want to have there's a great DC pen club that is very bought in, and honestly, in the DC area, you've got Barney's in DC, you've got Pen Boutique and Bertram's Inkwell in the Maryland-Baltimore area. So as far as a concentration of pen stores, I don't know if there's an area of the U.S. that has 3 pretty prominent stores in such close proximity. So it's really a great area, and the local community is fantastic. And I would love Farney's to be a more dialed in piece of that local community. So we're looking at doing some in-store events as well. I'd love to get some nib techs into the store to do, one-day grinding events, kind of like what Drom Ghouls does with Kirk Spear and Annabelle. So yeah, looking to definitely plug more into the community for sure.
No, I love that.
Sounds like it should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. We're going to make it fun.
I was going to say, Drew, at least
this is a fun hobby.
Yeah.
No, I will not be bored. It's really honestly a matter of where to begin. That's been the most overwhelming part, is just where do I even start?
Yeah.
So are you in the store a lot then?
No, I'm mostly in the warehouse office, and then I'll do the store about once a week, because there's more I can do at this stage at the office than I can at the store. But I will say that I love being at the store, because that's just working directly with the products and the customers, which is just so delightful for me. It makes me happy. I love it. And but as far as what the company needs right now, it needs more attention at the office and warehouse, just logistically speaking and things like that. Just kind of enhancing that foundation so that I can then say, hey, go to Farney's, not because I work there, but because it's a legit good place that I feel like you can be served well at.
And I
Absolutely.
think you have such an interesting crowd just being in DC, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That AOC post was super cool.
Oh
It
my
was.
God. I was shaking. I was literally.
Awesome.
We had a great icebreaker though, because I was all nervous to talk to her, but I'd followed her on Instagram, so I walked up and I just said, "You still using that Kaweco?" And she was like, "Well, yes, I am." So,
Who was it? Sorry, I missed that.
That's funny.
do what?
Who was it? Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Congresswoman from New York.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I just missed whose name you said. Like, I didn't catch it.
We said AOC.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't catch it.
Yeah. And then it was great because it was me, and then in the store we have Carol and Ponsok, and Carol speaks Spanish, so she actually was the one to ask her in Spanish if we could get pictures taken with her.
Cool.
No, it's so fun.
Yeah,
So
it was
when
a
you
lot.
order online from Farney's, though, that's from the warehouse, not the actual store. Is
Yeah.
that okay? Because they had emailed me something about when I had ordered that Sweet Dream. Something was they need to talk to me about. I don't know my address.
Yeah, I mean, if there's, they can send stuff from the store to the warehouse if they need to, though.
Mhm.
Of course,
I just didn't realize it was two separate things at that point in time, and I think I
Yeah.
called the wrong number. Is what I did.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, because they said, "Do you have to call here?" And then I don't know if I just didn't click on the one that they gave me, or if I just like was on their page and clicked that. I don't know what I did. But that's when I realized they were separate.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, Drew, we will let you run. Have fun at lunch.
Yeah, I need to pick up some regular shirts too. I need to I haven't been wanting to wear short sleeves up there because it's been so freaking cold, but I don't have a lot of I either have t-shirts with Transformers on them or these. So I need some just kind of like more regular button up long sleeves. So I need to go and track some of those down too. So
Yeah.
Don't dull your sparkle though, Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that if I tried, but yeah, I need to.
He's like, I need sleeves though.
I need sleeves. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe a blazer too. I don't know. I need something a little bit more professional for the cold days.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my husband just like wears his normal like band tees and then just throws a blazer on top. And
Yeah, maybe I can do something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need a very versatile blazer. So I'm gonna go and check that out too. So I'm gonna meet her at the mall, and then we'll go find something to eat after that.
But before you go, how are the corgis?
Oh, they're well, Hank is in his.
I was gonna say
his-
one's hanging out.
Yeah, one's in the in his crate right there next to me. But no, they're good. They're nothing, no issues. One is 13, cranky and loud. One is 4 and sleepy and lazy and fat, and then one is 2 and hyper and licky. So it's a wonderful menagerie of personality.
Love
And
that.
I think later today, once we get back home, I'm going to get my wife in and sit down here with me, and we'll do a video together for the first time.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
fun.
I've got
Nice.
a second mic now, so
Nice.
Nice.
yeah,
Looking
Sounds
forward to it.
yeah. So she's a little nervous about that, but
She's gonna be great. She's a pro.
I won't troll her too hard.
No, that's kind of mostly the fun, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. She gives as good as she gets.
Yeah. And if you've been, once you're together long enough, it tells you just kind of,
Is our love language is
Yeah,
sarcasm and
no.
cruelty.
Yeah, I like that very much. Like if
Yeah, we
people
started-
didn't know and then came to our house, and we were just having our normal bickering session, they'd be like, "What is wrong with you two?"
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Oh no, we're fine."
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go eat a hot dog now. So
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. This has been a ton of fun.
Bye,
Thanks
Drew.
for doing it.
right.
Members, go vote on the poll, or you don't get the opportunity to vote on videos anymore.
okay.
I know that.
Go vote, or I'm not letting you choose videos anymore. Basically,
What are they voting on? I missed that.
February pen videos. What
Oh.
order they want to see sponsored content in?
Oh, I see. That's exciting.
Yeah, there are
What
many.
you guys
pens.
all on your wish list? Or are we all leaving? Sorry, I didn't know.
it.
You just talking again.
I mean, we're still live, right? Aren't we?
We're still live. I haven't pressed end stream yet. I really want that new Esterbrook Blue Moon. I don't think it's happening, but I really want one. I think it's going to have to be a secondary market thing in a little bit, but
yeah,
always a good way to go.
Sorry?
It's always a good way to go. Secondary
I
market.
was so nervous to buy my first pen like secondhand, and then now like if it's something that I love, I'm not. And if it's something that I know that the first secondhand pen I ever bought was the Esterbrook Candy, and because I loved the resin, I could see the pictures of it, but it's like, okay, so as long as that's mostly fine, even if something's wrong with the nib, I can just change that out. Like I wasn't worried about that. So, and I think even that was before I knew what nib grinds were at that point. And, but knowing that you could just switch out the nib is nice. So I like brands that I can do that with just in case.
I think it depends on the source too.
Yeah.
Like, if you're buying from some rando on eBay who's had 4 sales, I'd be more worried about it than like Pen Addict Slack, say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It just depends.
Yeah,
So
don't do
so
that.
that was yours, Alexandra. Anyone else?
I'm gonna piggyback on the Blue Moon as well. I'm gonna have to sell probably
Cobalt?
my Cobalt to get it, but that's gonna happen. And then at some point this year, I would love a Sailor King of Pen.
The Sailor King of Pens is nice. The issue is I could sell my Cobalt. I love my Cobalt too much. Like it's such a pretty material. And
I
so
settled on the Cobalt because I couldn't get the Blue Moon.
And
I
didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
And I don't think I knew at that point either, though. I don't think so. But
I really want.
Yeah. Sorry.
I really want an Operex by Rich at River City Pens.
Ooh.
That's what I'm lusting after right now.
Beautiful.
So cool.
Yeah.
I want to see one in person. I've only seen them in videos online. I desperately he said he might come to Chicago, and I'm desperately hoping to convince him to just bring one to Chicago just so I can see it in person.
You've seen my Operex nib holder though.
I know I have.
But I guess it's not the pen.
It's not a pen. It's a little nib holder. I want to see it as a pen.
Sorry. But yes, it's such a crazy material, and yeah. It's funny because is it Marilyn? I always want to say Mary Lynn, but it's Marilyn. Has an Operex from Rich, and it's beautiful. Like it's so nice, and she always takes really great pictures of it online. It's always I'm like, dang it. But eventually,
I know. I had spent all my show money by the time I saw the Operex. I was like, well, we're just gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
Marina?
Yeah. Sorry. My internet's going in and out. I've been struggling.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
What is on your wish list this year?
I'm actually buying less. I'm selling. I'm going to be selling a bunch of my Mont Blancs and Almas. So yeah, I'm selling so I can possibly get more stuff in the future.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. I mean, this year is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this year, like, I'm afraid a little bit. Like, even just some of the designs that have been coming out. I know of a few things coming down the line, like and then like I was trying to. So I'm sure. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm crazy, but I bet you guys have done the same thing. So one of the things that I've kind of because this March will be like my first year of this. There's certain things that I'm like, I wonder if this is going to happen again, like when they have like the yearly releases. So for example, I have probably one of the prettiest pens I own is the Sailor Ancora 3rd anniversary pen. And I love that pen. And they had 2 in previous years. So already I'm like, okay, so in March, there's going to be this pen that's going to cost this much. And I bet you I'm going to be obsessed with it because I've been obsessed with the last 3. Not that I can find the first 2, but like, so that, and then I was thinking about, like Pelican comes out with a pen and an ink of the year every year. So I guess, and I had talked to Gary in Philly, and I think the ink comes out 1 month, and then like in September, I think is the pen, but I think the ink is like March or May, he said. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to like where are these releases? But then things like Leonardo, for example, last week goes and drops 3 pens in the same day that I was like, these are all spectacularly beautiful. And I was like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know. I was like, I'm screwed.
I desperately need that amethyst. I need that.
I like the amethyst.
Was not even a thought. I was like, yep.
No, I pre-ordered that one real fast.
Well, this is my problem though, is it's a pre-order from Endless, at least it's a pre-order that they're not going to get until April.
That I
And I'm like, will I even remember? I don't know.
So I actually ordered it from Stilo and Style or something. I've never ordered from them before.
Stilo e stile.
Okay, well,
they're in Italy.
But that store, because it was actually a decent price, even with the conversion, and they had like 10% off of it or something. They had it was a little bit less than where I'd seen it like before. And then also when they dropped it, wasn't it like 2 a.m. or something this went up? It was like a stupid time, and I didn't know if it was going to be a limited thing or if it was going to be just a European thing, all of this. And I think poor Clarissa probably woke up the next day to about 1 million messages, because even I went and messaged her like, and then she had posted the next day on her story like, this is actually going to be a worldwide release. Like, it's everywhere. It's getting it now. I bet you I'm not the only one that messaged her.
And I messaged Yost. Yost had posted a picture of it. I messaged Yost, and Yost went, "It's not limited. We're going to have it for ages.
Yeah.
It's going to be sticking around." And I went, "Great. Thanks."
Yeah. So that's why I ordered the amethyst first, because I also knew the Karina one was dropping and it looked like something I would love. And I had won a gift certificate for Endless, so I knew I could put that towards it, which was nice. And then I was like, I love the sand. Is it called Sands?
I think.
Yeah, I love that one too. But I was like, okay, I can chill and I can put that aside for now and have it on like. And that's what I was saying earlier with the limited editions. I love that one's not, because it's something that I know I want it, but I can't do all of them at the same time. Like, that's never gonna. I probably shouldn't have gotten 2 at the same time, but it was just, that kind of thing. And I was talking to my husband recently and he was like, you went from like washi to these. And I was like, yeah.
I just realized that you bought 3 Leonardos last week.
I don't have any. I have 0 Leonardos.
I forgot about that. I did.
I'm sitting here going, one second. You bought the amethyst.
I did.
You bought Karina's.
I did.
And you bought the Bella de Notte. I'm going, oh.
I forgot. Okay. Yeah. That one, let's be real, if I had not bought it at that second, would never have come again.
And you've been bugging me to sell mine to you for months.
Yeah.
I was not to be, and you had started to refer to mine as yours.
Yeah, I did. It was ours. We were sharing custody.
I will say, even the makers in January, I've been seeing like some amazing thing, like Rob Tinsworth. They're mixing like different types of resins
and like stacks of things. Yeah. I was like, what? Where did this come from? Like, and it was awesome, because that's what I've been wanting from the makers, because I like to, and I hope this comes out right and nicely, but I love a clip. Like, okay, Alexandra needs to have a clip on her pen. I like it for aesthetics, or just something to kind of break up the resin a little bit. And because I think they're beautiful and there's so much to it. And then, yeah, you're right. Like, all of a sudden, in the last few weeks, it's just been like, hey, we're here. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Like, did you see the clips that were seahorses? I forget who had them. I was flipping through somebody's stories. Let me see if I can find who. Somebody's done clips this week that are seahorses and mermaids. And I'm like, okay, where were these 6 months ago?
Yeah.
When no one was doing clips on pretty much on hand turn pens.
I think it was Walltown that just put up a post about 2 different ones, and I liked both, but
black and white, different resin thing.
Yes, it was so good, good. And I was like, oh,
They got together. Okay, let's do this for real, guys.
I got my first London panko, and I have Julia to thank because I got the nib that is the Imperial.
So Sean lives in London, like my London.
Love an Imperial.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good pen. It's
You said London Penco, right?
Huh?
You said London Penco, right?
London Penco, yeah.
Like Sean's in my London, so he lives in my city.
And notes from a past Amy has already found it.
There we go.
And I'm just gonna, if it's okay, somebody talked about Endless, like they're just not sure if they trust them. And honestly, I've had a great experience, but you need to read the fine print. If you do not, you're going to be disappointed. And that's where, so for me, like again, in Alexandra, we're in Canada, so it's very hard with the exchange. It sucks. And with shipping to Canada is awful. So I personally have had a P.O. box in Canada for in the US for like 10 years because that's just, and because I'm very close, like I'm about an hour from the border. So I'll go every few weeks. Sometimes it'll be a month or two before I go. So it doesn't matter. So I'll still ship things there. So I'm okay with waiting for something. And if it's from like Endless, the biggest thing is a lot of the times it can take a few months. And I think the longest so far I've waited for one is 6 months. But again, for me, if it's something that like, I know I love it and I know that I'm going to get it, I don't really care if I have to wait for it.
Right.
Depending on what it is, if it's also going to save me a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a question. Was it them or was someone else who didn't have much warranty for their pens? There was one of the
not anymore.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, they're authorized retailers for almost everything now.
Okay. So that's I like because I had not heard those like because I had looked normally and I think I actually messaged them. Like you'll learn that I just asked. I had actually messaged them and like, are you legit? Like, what's going on? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Like, and then I had started to like look and kind of they had explained something. I can't remember what they wrote. It was so long ago. But no, they were always like they always answered my messages. They always answered. So I never had any issues. Like I haven't had issues again, but you have to be okay with waiting. And that's where I was fine with it. And I think the first time I was nervous because it was the first time. But now I'm just like, I just know that I'll get it eventually. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
And again, if it's something I know I like.
Like I ship stuff to your P.O. box. I waited 2.5 months for my birthday present. I knew it was safe.
Yeah. That was because of just timing and stuff.
Just timing.
Yeah,
like it's like I know it's safe. I know I've ordered it.
Oh, for sure. And I am actually super lucky with the person that runs the post office that I go to. It's kind of like a little rural one, but the building's huge and he just doesn't, he's so great. Like my P.O. box is only this big. He comes out with like 5 bins. Like, hi guys, thanks.
Oh my God.
He's so good. Like I think I was telling the girls when I was at Alexandra's, I just keep talking. Sorry guys. During COVID, I couldn't get over the border. So for like 1.5 years. So I had mail that was still going there. Or things because I had called him and said, do you care? He's like, nope. He like rolled out a bin when I got there. Nice. 1.5 years later. It was like a bin. It was like a huge bin. It was.
Well, my dear ones, I need to run.
All right.
This has been so fun.
I probably should too. It's 1:00 here. So
I know. I'm starving. I've got to go eat food.
Thank you very much to everyone who watched. Thank you to the 4 of you plus Drew for doing this. It was
Indeed.
Fun. I love this. This is so fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right.
Okay. Are we saying all signing off?
Well, I'm just pressing end stream and so.
Okay. Well then, bye
Okay.
guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us.